A home invasion happens in your house tonight. You've got 3 seconds to reach for something. Is it going to be a gun or something that can stop the threat without leaving you to live with what comes after? That's the question more and more Americans are asking right now. Because here's the problem. Most people think their only options are call 911 and hope, or own a firearm. Nobody talks about the middle ground. The tools that are legal in many places, widely available to civilians, and designed to stop or disrupt a threat without immediately resorting to lethal force. Law enforcement has been using this category of tools for decades. They're called less lethal weapons, and some of the same technologies used by police are now available to regular civilians. In the next few minutes, we're breaking down 10 of them, ranked from solid to seriously impressive, using government and medical research rather than marketing hype. And by the end, you'll understand something most homeowners never think about: why the best defense tool might not be the one that kills. Let's start with number 1, pepper spray. Pepper spray. Sounds basic, right? But the research tells a different story. Studies on oleoresin capsicum, the active compound in most pepper sprays, show that it can cause intense burning in the eyes, skin, and airways, producing a powerful physiological response that can disrupt an attacker's ability to continue. It's not simply about pain tolerance, it's a physical reaction that can interfere with vision and breathing. And that's why pepper spray remains one of the most common, less lethal options. It's compact, inexpensive, and easy to keep accessible. But there's an important catch. It isn't foolproof. In a stressful, adrenaline-fueled encounter, accuracy can become a major problem, and spray can also affect the person using it, especially indoors. But here's the problem with pepper spray. If you can't effectively deploy it, you need another option. And that brings us to number 2. Stun guns and civilian taser-style devices use what's called a conducted energy mechanism. Instead of relying purely on pain, certain devices are designed to interfere with voluntary muscle control, and this is where it gets interesting. Federal justice researchers have studied conducted energy devices across thousands of real-world law enforcement deployments. The research suggests they can sometimes reduce the need for hands-on physical force, although they aren't risk-free, and their effectiveness varies by device, circumstances, and deployment. For home defense, the biggest potential advantage is distance. Some devices are designed to work from farther away than a person could safely manage with their hands alone. But that doesn't make them a magic solution. They still require responsible handling, and their legal status varies depending on where you live. Now, once you understand how these two categories work, you start seeing the pattern: distance and disruption, and that pattern is about to escalate. Number 3, CO2-powered less lethal launchers. These include devices designed to fire chemical or kinetic projectiles, sometimes referred to as pepperball launchers. These aren't toys. They're based on technology that has been used by law enforcement for years to deliver irritants or impact projectiles from a distance. The basic idea is simple. Instead of getting close enough to physically confront someone, the launcher creates separation between you and the threat. But here's the important distinction. These devices can look less intimidating than a firearm while still causing significant injury. That's especially true with kinetic projectiles, and this is where the risk profile changes dramatically. Number 4, kinetic impact launchers. Independent medical research examining real-world incidents has found that impact projectiles can cause serious injuries. Hits to vulnerable areas such as the head or neck can be particularly dangerous, and less lethal absolutely does not mean non-lethal. That's not a scare tactic, it's the documented reality. So the takeaway isn't that these launchers are automatically safe or unsafe. It's that the potential consequences are serious, and anyone considering one needs to understand the risks, training requirements, and local laws before treating it like ordinary home defense equipment. Remember that distinction, because it's going to come back later. Now let's zoom out for a second, because there's a pattern forming here that most people never notice. Number 5, the use of force continuum. Every one of these tools connects to a concept used in law enforcement: the use of force continuum, a framework for matching a response to the actual level of threat. And honestly, this may be the most important part of the entire list. Home defense isn't necessarily about choosing the strongest weapon. It's about understanding your options and responding proportionately to the situation in front of you. A verbal command might be appropriate in one situation. Creating distance or using an alarm might be another. enough in another. Less lethal options can occupy another part of that spectrum, and in situations involving an imminent threat of death or serious injury, the legal and practical considerations become much more serious. Most civilian preparedness content skips this completely, and that's a mistake, because the goal isn't simply to have more weapons, it's to have a response that matches the threat. Let's keep climbing the list, because the next few tools are less about stopping power and more about buying you something even more valuable match. Number 6. The tactical flashlight. A bright tactical flashlight can temporarily disrupt an intruder's vision in a dark environment while helping you identify what's actually happening. And unlike a weapon, its primary purpose isn't to injure anyone. Number 7. The personal alarm. Pair that flashlight with a loud personal alarm. Some models produce extremely high-volume sirens, and suddenly you've created something an intruder didn't expect. Noise, attention, and confusion. Why does that matter? Because burglars and home invaders often rely on speed and surprise. Every second of warning or hesitation can give you more time to retreat, secure a room, contact emergency services, or get other people to safety. And now the list gets genuinely strategic. Number 8. The baton. The smartest home defense setup doesn't necessarily rely on one item. It layers multiple forms of protection. A baton, for example, can provide additional reach in a close-quarters situation. But unlike the earlier options, this category comes with significant legal and injury considerations, and its effectiveness depends heavily on circumstances and training. And that's why physical barriers and detection devices can be just as important. Point number 9. Door and window security. A solid door alarm, window sensors, exterior lighting, and other early warning systems create layers an intruder has to overcome just to reach you. And every layer creates another opportunity for them to leave before the situation becomes physical at all. Which brings us to the final point, and arguably the most important one. Point number 10. The biggest defense isn't a weapon, it's a layered plan. So now you're probably wondering, out of all 10, which ones actually matter the most? Here's the truth. Medical researchers keep circling back to across this entire subject. Less lethal does not mean risk-free. Government and medical reviews have documented injuries associated with several of these technologies, even when they're designed specifically to reduce the chance of fatal outcomes. And that's exactly why professionals train with them, instead of simply buying a device and assuming it'll work like it does online. The tools on this list can be useful when you understand their limitations. They're also capable of causing serious harm when you don't. So here's what actually matters. You don't need all 10. You need a home defense approach that fits your home, your circumstances, your comfort level, and your local laws, because the legality of these devices can vary significantly by state and locality, and that's homework you need to do before buying anything. What you should walk away with today isn't just another list of gadgets. It's a framework, a way to think about home defense as layers, awareness, early warning, distance, barriers, emergency communication, and only then the appropriate response to the threat in front of you. Because knowing the tools is only half the equation. Knowing how they fit into a responsible home defense plan is what actually matters. And if you want to go deeper into how to build those layers room by room, that's the next video you need to watch.